It has been a heck of a 24 hours if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, and actually even if you're not, because this trade shocked all of the NFL. Micah Parsons, somebody you could say is a generational talent, being traded to their rival. One of their biggest rivals, the Packers, for 2 first-round picks, also a player as well. We're going to talk about that because our Garrett Podell talked to that player in just a second here. But Brian Schottenheimer, head coach for the Dallas Cowboys, had a press conference today. We heard from Jerry Jones yesterday, but here's more from Brian Schottenheimer on the massive trade.
At the end of the day, it was unanimous. This is not something we came about. It wasn't something where it was like an overnight thing. We had talked about it. And at the end of the day, I think when you look at a football team, when you can potentially add up to 4 or 5 players and things like that, it gives you the ability to do some things. We're happy for Micah, his family. You look at the deal that he got. That's awesome. I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, he's done an incredible job here for the Cowboys for the last, 4 years. And, but again, you never know. I mean, you never know how these things are going to play out.
Well, here's how they did play out. Details of the trade. The Packers getting Micah Parsons. The Cowboys getting defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Also 2 first-round picks. Let's bring in I mean, at this point, we can call him Cowboys insider, Garrett Podell, who's basically living at the Star now. Garrett, you were at that press conference. You also talked to Kenny Clark as well. We'll talk about that in a second. Take me into the room, though. I mean, just what was it like being there? What were, as Jacqueline would say, what were the vibes, my friend?
Well, Amanda, nice to see you. Yeah, I might as well pitch a tent here and just post up. But, the vibes in the Star with Brian Schottenheimer, I mean, he's usually pretty upbeat, fun guy. I mean, he came in and he was pretty matter of fact. The first question was about what Jerry Jones said last night, which was this was a unanimous decision. And Brian Schottenheimer affirmed that. He said, yes, it was a unanimous decision. Schottenheimer did admit, though, that there was a little back and forth before consensus was reached, and that the final decision for everyone in the room, coaching staff, front office staff, it being unanimous. But I think that was the big thing he stressed. And I asked Schottenheimer, if someone was concerned about the Cowboys' contention chances for a Super Bowl after this trade, what would you say to them? He said, Micah is great, but you need more than one guy to win. You need a team. And he also referenced, after this deal, they can add 4 or 5 players. He referenced the first-round picks, obviously Kenny Clark. And then they now have just over $41 million in cap space, the second most in the NFL. So he was very much following Jerry Jones' lead, which was talking about all the things that can change and that they can add, and that they need more than one player, even though that one player, Micah Parsons, very special player.
Yeah, just a hell of a player there. So let me ask you this. Jerry Jones every year says we're all in, we're all in, we're all in. Is it fair to say the Cowboys are not all in this season, that this trade was more geared for the future?
It would appear that way, Amanda, but that's not what they're saying here in Dallas. I mean, Jerry Jones said last night that this move makes the Cowboys better both today and in the future. And Brian Schottenheimer said just a few minutes ago that, this does not change their ultimate goal to win a world championship. Now, obviously, you could use some data to push back on that, which was when Micah Parsons was on the field for the Cowboys. They had the best defensive expected points added per play in the entire NFL when he was on the field the last 4 years, and the worst in the league when he wasn't. So, Brian Schottenheimer did say you can't win with just one man. That one man was arguably the most valuable defensive player in football in the context of him playing for the Cowboys defense. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But when I asked about Kenny Clark to Brian Schottenheimer, he said, this is a battle-tested guy. And he referenced his time as Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator. The last time he was a play caller in the NFL before entering this year, where he now has that power back as the Cowboys head coach, he said it's a battle-tested, kind of battle-hardened guy. So he's really excited about the fit with Kenny Clark.
You did talk to Kenny Clark as well. What were some of the main questions you wanted to ask him? And I guess how is he feeling right now?
That's, I think, a great place to start, Amanda. How is he feeling? Because he was the Packers' longest tenured player, 9 seasons in Green Bay, first-round pick in 2016 under former GM Ted Thompson, who has since passed away. But, yeah, he was shocked. Shocked was a word that came up a lot. He said he was actually going out to the grocery store to get ice cream for his 2 daughters. And when he came back, he was on the Dallas Cowboys. So he did not see this coming at all, just like the general public and many of us. But he said what really kind of settled his feelings about the trade and got him excited to be in Dallas was Jerry Jones called Kenny Clark, and Clark said that Jerry told him this deal does not get done without you in it. And he said that was really great to hear because he felt like he was going to, quote, be a Packer for life because he signed last summer a 3-year contract extension with the Packers that was going to keep him there through 2027. So he's really now excited for this new chapter here in Dallas. And he was asked, how do you fit in Matt Eberflus's scheme, the new DC? He said, I love it because it's an attack front, which means the defensive lineman, interior guys are supposed to go up the field. You know, some schemes, they want you to hold the block and kind of stay there, just kind of really open the paths for like a linebacker. But no, he wants to attack and get upfield. And he said playing alongside Oso Digizua, another UCLA Bruin, who's someone he's known because of that connection, he's really excited about.
Because I'm from Dallas, so I've listened, I tuned into Dallas radio to hear about this and all the sports stations and other podcasts and, what the Locked On other Dallas team, Cowboys podcast. And people are wondering what was the breaking point. And it seems like maybe there was something with that preseason game with Micah showing up, eating the nachos, laying on the table and stuff like that and closing his eyes. Was there any breaking point, do you think, that you've been hearing of?
That's an interesting question because when we last talked to Brian Schottenheimer earlier this week, he said he spoke for about an hour with Micah Parsons about the training table incident that you mentioned, among other things. And Schottenheimer and Jerry Jones last night both downplayed that incident. So I don't know that would be a breaking point, but that might have, to your point, I mean, I guess it was, maybe accelerated a final decision on the trade, because to me, the real breaking point happened in the spring. And that's when Micah Parsons casually talked numbers with Jerry Jones, contract financial numbers, when Jones initially brought it up. And after that took place, Jerry felt, okay, we've got a deal. We can sign this, it's done. And Micah said, well, now I got to go run it by my agent to really read the fine print and make sure everything's cool. And that's when Jerry was really upset because he felt they did this negotiating effort and now he's being told that's not enough. So to me, it was kind of that moment that was really the breaking point, because when you talk to Dak Prescott, Dak said, I've never talked financial numbers with Jerry Jones. I just didn't involve my agent, because then that's where the personal kind of hard feelings come with Jerry being miffed that they weren't able to just sign a deal with Micah and Jerry being the only people talking about it.
I hope you get to go home soon. I don't know if you have to write anything, if any more hits or anything like that. Go ahead, Garrett.
I do, but I'm happy to stay here as long as you need, Amanda. If you and I just want to heart-to-heart this as a Dallas native, and me living here in the area, I'm happy to do that with you.
I'm good. I think I need a break from this because it has been so much. But we appreciate it. And as soon as anything else pops up, we're going to come immediately to Garrett Podell. They're doing phenomenal work for us from Dallas at the Star. Cowboys going up against the Packers. It is not that far away. Week 4, Sunday Night Football.